Here's a look at your daily market report on this Monday, the 25th day of August. Before we get into the markets, we'll take a look at this afternoon's crop progress and condition report. For the week ending August 24th, 6.2 days suitable for field work. Topsoil moisture in the state rated at 5% short, 30% very or 5% very short, 30% short, 63% adequate, and 2% surplus. Subsoil moisture rated at 3% very short, 18% short, 76% adequate, and 3% surplus. Corn in the dough stage has reached 94%. That's right in line with the 5-year average. Corn dented is now at 66%, also right in line with the 5-year average. Corn matures at 15%, and that compares to the 5-year average of 8%. Corn condition currently rated 1% very poor, 4% poor, 16% fair, 60% good, and 19% excellent. Taking a look at the soybeans, those setting pods has reached 82%. That compares to the 5-year average of 79%. Soybeans dropping the leaves is now at 1%. That compares to the 5-year average of 5%. Soybean condition rated at 1% very poor, 5% poor, 18% fair, 51% good, and 25% excellent. Pasture conditions in the state currently rated at 1% very poor, 5% poor, 18% fair, 66% good, and 8% excellent. Taking a look at the auctions around the state today, a few stick-out sales we've seen. Callaway Livestock Center, they sold 15 head of 517-pound steers at $495. A full load of 851-pound steers at Callaway, $354 and a quarter. Tina Livestock Auction, they had 18 head of 563-pound steers, sell at $472. Joplin Regional Stockyards got their mid-session market. They're expecting to have about 9,000 head today. They're getting awful close to being done midway through the sale. Steers called $3 to $17 higher. Heifers $3 to $15 higher. The feeder steers, medium and large ones, 4 to 5 weights, $460 to $590. Some thin were at the $590. 5 to 6 weights at $405 to $475. 6 to 7 weight steers at $370 to $450. 7 to 8 weights, $353 to $391. Some 8 to 9 weights at $342 to $361. A stick-out sale on some 9-weight steers. 111 head of 924-pound steers brought $350.50. Feeder heifers in Joplin, the 4 to 5 weights, $390 to $460. 5 to 6 weights at $370 to $420. 6 to 7 weights at $348 to $400 even. Some 7 to 8 weights at $327.5 to $360. Some 8 to 9 weight heifers at $320 to $339. Box beef cutout values. Choice closed up 58 cents for the day, $408.49. Select up $1.72 at $385.38. Those values based on 63 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. And the Choice Select spread at $23.11. Negotiated feedlot trade last week, when all was said and done, 79,192 head. The weighted average price on the live sales, $243.85. That was $1.69 higher than the previous week. Dress sales at $386 even. That was up $3.13 from the previous week. So far this week, basically nothing, about 270 heads traded scattered around. A few live sales at $245. There was a load of mixed steers and heifers at $235. A small load or a part of load of some dress sales at $382, but basically nothing really tested so far this week. Taking a look at the closing futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange. Of course, prior to the bell this morning, there was a whole lot of nervousness following the cattle and feed report from last Friday, but more so the news that broke last night of that case of New World screwworm found in a human in Maryland earlier this month. Although there was very little likelihood or risk of that transferring to cattle, there was still some psychological worries that took place before the bell, and the futures markets did open lower, nowhere close to limit, but they did open lower throughout the day, though that faded and they climbed back. And from the looks of the way those markets finished today and closed, it was basically just a result of the cattle and feed report, as those further out months closed a little bit lower and the nearby months closed a little bit higher. On Monday, August live cattle 27 cents higher at 240.22, October 236.82 down 105, December $1 and a dime lower at 238.05. August feeder cattle up 50 cents at 360.85, September down 77, 361.90, October down $1.75 at 360.57. The CME cash feeder cattle index, based on an 800-pound steer through the auction barns up through the 12-state feeding region, jumped $7.74 today for an all-time new record high of $357.92. Lean hogs had a slightly stronger day today. October 91.40 up 20, December 84.75 up 37, February 87.50 up 37. Turning our attention to the grain markets, soybeans at the elevators today 3 to 10 lower, wheat 2 higher, corn 1 to 3 higher. Corn bids in St. Louis 402 to 404, Kansas City at 399. Soybean bids in St. Louis 1019 to 1020, Kansas City at 962, and wheat in St. Louis 472 to 479. On the board of trade, September corn closed up a penny, 389 and a quarter. December at 412 and a quarter, up 3/4 of a cent. March at 429 3/4, up a penny. September beans down 11, 1025 and a half. November new crop at 1047 3/4, down 10 3/4. January at 1067 3/4, down 9 1/4. Wheat contracts, September closed 2 higher, 506 3/4. December at 529 3/4, up 2 1/2. March at 547, up 2 1/4. Soybean meal for September down $1 a ton, $295.70. Soybean oil for September down 53 cents a hundredweight at 54.31. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your daily market report. This is Tony Hancock.